This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. So many of us have so many different apps on our phone to help us be more productive, be mindful, remember things. Could be from calendar, to-do lists. I could go on and on and on. I have so many. We'll get to that in a second. Is it a good thing, or is it actually holding us back from being productive and moving our lives forward, either professionally or personally? Are you a tool-aholic? We're going to dig into that today. He's somebody that, in many different ways, helps you move forward as a coach, but with a program that he's developed called International Achievements. He's got so much insight. I love how he gets to the answer. He has the answer. He gets to it. He's done this for decades, helping people, and now he's doing it through this platform. Joe Price is back with us. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Great to be back with you, Steve.
Oh, I'm loving talking about this because we all are victims of having all these apps, thinking it's going to move our lives forward. Let's also add to that, many of them are subscription based. Many times we'll subscribe to things and think that it's going to be the magic bullet. Well, let me give it a little more time. I don't have time to deal with an app. Well, there's another $14.95 on my card.
Right.
You're broadly saying here that we may be overdoing it because it's getting in the way of progression. Am I interpreting it that right way?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And this may sound a little harsh, but I call it the hidden addiction in personal development.
Hmm. I
We
can
get
see it.
we get so addicted to how many times have you listened to a podcast, read a book, went to a seminar, got a new tool, and said to yourself, I got one good idea, it was worth it.
Many times, and then I go to an app to write it down so that I save it, but I
Right?
save so much stuff that I can't even access it. And now we're years in that I don't even have time to go through that and clean that all up.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And and you spent money on that one good idea.
Mm,
It didn't change your behavior. It didn't change your performance. It didn't change your progress.
nope.
And that turned out to be a very expensive idea.
Not in just the physical expense.
Correct.
Yeah. And it's so funny. I find this in myself, and I'm a geek. I love technology, tons of apps and everything, to-do lists. And there's a few that I feel are better than the others. But what it comes down to in the end for me, the post-it note,
Yeah.
the post-it note or my to-do list. And if like I look at the app, then I gotta, go through it and click things, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I just email myself.
Yeah.
Because
And
I
it,
know it's in front of me.
and we're going to get to this a little later, but we teach 40 plus tools. So I am not trying to communicate that I don't like tools.
Okay.
But what we have a tendency to do is put more emphasis on the tool than we do on the progress that the tool is supposed to make for us,
Yep. Yeah.
right?
Mm.
I tell this story. My father was a first class tool and die maker. He was a mechanic. He owned several gas stations. And if you looked in our garage, you would see wall to wall toolboxes with tools in every single drawer to the hilt. But when the Snap on truck came around,
Mm.
he was out like a guy looking for the ice cream truck, getting ready to buy the new tool, right?
Yep.
And I said to him, I was a kid at this time, and I said to him, why do you buy another tool when you got a whole wall of toolboxes full of tools? And he said to me, It's impossible to do the right job the right way without the right tool.
And I feel that that's a fair statement.
Right?
Mhm.
But here's what he was saying. It wasn't the tool that was the most important thing. It was the job in getting the job done right and figuring out which tool was going to help him do that. He wasn't collecting tools for the sake of collecting tools.
So give me that again. I want to make sure that's clear as we apply it to, tons of apps on our phones.
Right?
Uh, you're thinking that it might be the right tool for the job, but you haven't truly figured it out yet?
Well, you haven't really determined, and remember, everything intentional is outcome focused. So the
Hmm.
question becomes, what outcome do I want from this exercise or this tool, right? Or this job, right? What outcome do I want when I'm done with this job? And which tool is going to help me get that outcome the best? The focus is on the outcome and the job, not on the tool.
Would you say that if your app and tool addiction starts percolating a little bit there, that before you put the credit card number in, that you should look at what the outcome is going to be?
Absolutely correct, right?
Hmm.
What is this tool for? Will it get me the outcome that I'm looking for? Will it create the behavior change? Will it create the progress? Will it create the movement that I'm looking for? And if so, buy it and use it. But if not, then you got some rethinking to do because
Hmm.
this hidden addiction gives us the illusion of progress,
Yeah,
and that's the challenge, right?
completely. And the last one I bought was about a month ago, and I did the yearly because it was, a lot cheaper. And basically, it's an app that presents books, but it's been pared down with AI. So you get the quick read, sort of like remember the old school Cliff Notes?
Right. The executive summaries.
Pretty much so.
Yeah.
And in like 16 minutes, you can get, everything you need from a book just so you can move on. How many times I've used this? None. Haven't
Yeah.
haven't even yet. And even
Yeah.
they offer some free ones too that don't count toward your credits. I haven't even used those yet. I don't have time.
Yeah. Well, here's the critical question to ask ourselves
Mm,
when we're thinking about buying or using another tool. Am I using the tool to support the action and the movement that I'm looking to do? Or am I using or buying the tool to actually avoid the progress and the movement that I'm supposed to make?
hmm. It's something else, Joe, I think comes into play here because I experience it in myself. Tool FOMO, app FOMO, fear of missing out. Well, if
Right?
I don't get it, I'm never going to know whether it's going to help me. And I feel like I'm missing out on something. Yeah,
Yeah.
16 minutes, I could read a book and go on to the next one. Yeah, 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 yeah. I believe that's what's going on there. And of course, when they market it, it looks, shiny new object and all of
Oh,
that.
of course.
Yeah. Hmm.
But we forget, again, the second principle of intentionality is what's the purpose of it all, right?
Hmm.
What's the reason for me going out there and looking for this new tool? Do I have something that's not working? Do I want to create movement and I don't have a tool at all?
Yep.
Right?
Hmm.
What's the reason for doing it?
You convince yourself that you need it,
Right.
or you think that you need it. I believe we have a call. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hey, who's this?
Christine.
Christine checking in from Searsport, Maine. You have a question for Joe?
Yeah, actually, I do. My question is, there are so many apps out there, and they're supposed to make it easier, but I just feel more stressed. Do you have any suggestions?
It was a little bit noisy. Can you say that again?
Yeah.
Um, my question is, there are so many apps out there that are supposed to make life easier, but I just feel more stressed. Do you have any like suggestions how I can get over that?
Hmm.
Yes, thanks for the question, Christine. So let me ask you a question back. Where do you think that stress is coming from?
Well, it's like old school. Like I use the time management app, and it just seems to be very frustrating to me. Like I'd rather just do it the old way.
I just said that before, Christine. With all these apps, the to-do list and everything, it's called a pen and a piece of paper, or maybe a post-it note. And I love technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the real question about time management in particular is we can't manage time, and the concept is we're managing ourselves in our use of time. So are you to the place where you're saying, I don't have enough time to do everything I need to do? Are you feeling overwhelmed with everything that happens and you can't organize it properly? Have you not structured your day in such a way where you can block certain times during the day to accomplish certain things and feel that progress? You understand where I'm going with that, Christine?
yes, I do. Thank you.
Hmm.
Does it help?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Does it help?
Yes, yes.
Okay. That's the place that I would go is I would look, we teach a tool called block time. And it says make a list of all the activities that you want to engage in during the day, starting with the most important down to the trivial. Because if we start with the trivial, we'll never get to the important things. Determine how much the next step in that important thing is going to take. Let's say it's going to take a half hour. And then you create a block in your calendar of that half hour where you think it's going to have the most impact.
So I
And
have a
then you
question.
schedule that just like you schedule an appointment.
I've often heard that you should go for the low-hanging fruit first in terms of what you're going to get done in a day. And a
Yep.
number of different reasons. Obviously, it's easier. But on the other side of that, it gives you a feeling of accomplishment, which can push you to do more. What are your thoughts on that?
The challenge with that is how many times does that easy thing take longer than we expected?
Mm,
Okay.
yep.
So now what we thought was going to be a 5 or a 10 minute thing takes 30 minutes or an hour. And now everything on our list is backed up. And by the end of the day, we haven't accomplished anything of significance. And we feel like we haven't accomplished anything.
I love you, Joe, but I hate you in that you are the voice of reason and truth. It's true. Like,
It's like,
yes, so many times, like, it'll take me 10 minutes to do that. It's all good. And then it takes longer. Or you take those three low-hanging fruit items and then you multitask them. You bounce them from one to the other. And that's like the
correct.
kiss of time death right there.
Absolutely right. Because distractions come in and we can't. Yeah, I'm a firm believer that it's impossible for us to multitask. The science of mind tells us we can only hold one thought at a time. Now, we can switch very quickly between thoughts, but we can't multitask multiple thoughts at the same time. So every time we switch from one thing to another, we don't go back to where we originally were. We have to go back in time and gain context to where we were, adding time to that thing that we thought was only going to take a little while.
It's true. As you're saying it, I'm tracing the steps in my mind of doing something. And that's it. Because when you get refocused into something else, you don't pick up where you left off. You
Correct.
have to go back a few steps before almost to re-engage.
Yep.
And it's almost like you need another running start to get to where you were.
Absolutely
Um,
correct.
okay.
And
Yeah.
all of that time is wasted time. to
Yeah.
where if you focused on one thing and completed it, and then moved to the next thing and completed it, there's no context revisiting, and therefore there's no wasted time in between.
Wow. Um, I can't dispute that. It is so true. And I'm the king of trying to multitask those little things. And we got different rooms and different offices and studios, and I'll be on this PC for a minute. I gotta because that one need I can only do this task on that one over there. Then I'm back onto this one, then over there. Then in the end, I really didn't make any progress. Would you say multitasking essentially bad idea?
Absolutely bad idea, and it's impossible based on the definitions, right?
Mm.
So it's I have a concept called keep your hat on. And what that means is a hat represents the task that you're working. Keep that hat on until you reach a logical stopping place, and then switch hats, switch tasks, and then complete that until a logical stopping point, because that thing could take you 3 or 4 efforts or 3 or 4 times to complete the task at hand, the whole thing, right? But if you get to a logical stopping point, then you can start at that point without gaining context backwards.
And what I'm getting here is logical stopping point doesn't necessarily mean you fully completed the task. Maybe you can only get so far and you need additional information or
Correct.
a team member to add something to it so you can continue it. But let's stop where we are because that's, we're at a point where we can't go any further. And now it's time to, change hats, if you will.
Correct. And I get that sense of accomplishment
Mm.
because I did make progress in that area.
So you have with intentional achievements many different, we'll call them tools that we can employ to get things done. When we talk about apps, are you comfortable sharing a few that, and we're not selling anything here, it's just advice, uh,
Yeah,
that work for you? Whether it's a to-do list, and everybody's different. I might look at that and say, "Oh, I don't know, Joe, it's too technical," or whatever it might be. Any
yeah.
that stand out that have stood the Joe Price test of time?
To be honest, I'm sort of where you are. I'm a little more old school because I'm old. Uh,
Same here.
I I do use apps, but I use them sparingly.
Mm.
And I can't do a lot of stuff on my phone just because it's too small. I can't read it anymore. So so I use more desktop apps that are connected with my calendar and my project management software that I use mostly to make sure that I'm in line with the progress that I'm making on each project that I'm working on at the time.
Hmm. And I use my phone, but quite honestly, I love returning emails on a PC. I like the screen environment. I
Yep,
find myself thinking more. I've got fat fingers, typing on the, it's just after a while, it's like, this is not fun. I can see it,
absolutely.
but this is not fun. But one thing we should add here, and it is scientifically proven, and we're beating ourselves up because we're old school, but
Right.
pen in hand, when you write it down, you are neurologically cementing the thought and the idea. It's not the same when you type it. There is
Yeah.
a lot of value in physically writing something down, right?
Well, and let me tell you that neuroscience actually confirms what you just talked about. And the science of the mind says that different parts of the brain are used when you speak, when you write,
Hmm.
and when you speak, when you write.
And is it when you type?
No, when I can't believe it. When you think, write, and speak. Okay, we use different parts of the brain. So the key is think through something, write it down, and match it against what you were thinking, and then speak it out loud and match that against what you wrote. And what you're going to find is each one of those produces something slightly different.
What a cool exercise. Even if, okay, let's say I'm going to take a couple of notes from this. And by the way, one moment, I keep notebooks
There you go.
and I write things down. And
Yeah.
part of that is I also document the date and the time. And I'm a little loose on that. I honestly should get a little bit better at that.
Yeah.
But are you saying, all right, I had a thought, or even, I was listening to a podcast with Joe Price, Intentional Achievements, and a couple of notes here. I wrote them down.
Yeah.
I had the thought. I wrote it down. I should read it after that, what I
Correct.
wrote down.
Yep.
Mm, that's a good one.
And then pull all of that together into one concise message that makes total sense all the way around.
That's really good. And here's why. Neuroplasticity.
Correct.
The experts that deal in that. Even if you want to change your outlook, rewire your mind, have challenges in life, and you just want to reframe things, they say just talk to yourself. Say those things. I don't want to say they're affirmation statements, but they can be. But saying them does make an imprint on your brain.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just think, oh, they're just words coming out of my mouth. No, it's way, way, way deeper than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And I have to laugh because we teach, for example, people how to public speak or give workshops or facilitate meetings. And one of the things I tell people is that for every chance we get to speak, we actually are engaged 3 times, right? So, for example, if I give a workshop, I actually give that workshop 3 times. The one I planned, the one I gave, and the one I wish I would have given,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
And how many times, let's say in business, we're planning to facilitate a team meeting to take our team to a new place. We think through it, we write our notes, and then we get up and facilitate the meeting. And after the meeting, we're kicking ourselves because we forgot something, or we didn't say it the way we wanted to say it, or didn't come across the way we wanted it to come across, right?
Mm.
And it just reinforces this fact that what we think and write and speak comes from different parts of the brain, and we've got to coordinate that whole process in order to create the message that we want to send.
So the 3 parts there, I thought about doing it, I did it, and now I'm reflecting on it. I'm going to just
Correct.
leave it that way.
Yeah,
But it's been said too that you shouldn't should on yourself. So, oh,
absolutely true.
I should have said this. I should have done that.
Yeah.
How do you reframe that though, out of that 3 steps?
The the one I wish I would have given is not I should have done it differently, but what can I learn from this experience
Mm,
that'll allow me to prepare and facilitate the next one closer to the one that I prepared?
gotcha. Yeah. Everything's a learning experience, whether you want to accept it or not, but it's the truth.
Exactly.
Mm. Great conversation today. Uh,
We hit a lot of different topics,
we
didn't
really
we?
did. And I'm just, laughing as, later on, I have a quieter night tonight. Going to start your program, by the way, but
Yeah,
also I'm going to just go through all the apps I have on my phone and how I'm not even using them. And, some of them I paid for, some not, but it's best intention. We get these, we think it's going to
yeah.
be the latest and the greatest. But
Here's a final thought in that regard.
sure.
If it's cluttering your phone, it's probably cluttering your mind,
I feel like it's cluttering my phone. I was as you're saying that, I was thinking of tonight. It's time for uninstall. It's
right?
a it's an uninstall evening coming my way.
There you go.
uh, this is what you do in short form. You come up with these different views of what we do on a regular basis, and also ways to move our lives forward. You have so many different programs. Some of them you offer for free, insight that you can get, and the website is intentionalachievements.com. Go
Correct.
there, learn more, even start a conversation with you, Joe. Always great talking with you. I learned so much, and looking forward to starting your program very soon. We'll talk about that next time we get together. But
Looking forward to that.
Digging into
Yeah.
anything we got coming our way next time.
And don't forget, folks can get the free gift if they're listening to the podcast. Go to intentionalachievements.com/get-my-gift, and they'll get the ebook, Mastering the Four Foundations.
Beautiful. Joe, thanks for today. I could look back and say we could have done this better. I think we had a lot here. I'm satisfied. I hope you are.
I had to. Thank you
good.
so much, Steve.
All right. We'll catch up soon. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.